Hey y'all. Okay. So one of you guys asked me if I would go live, so here I am. I just got done doing a live stream over on Facebook, and I was live for like an hour. Or 2 hours, excuse me. I told my whole story over on Facebook because I haven't told it to my Facebook followers, and it was pretty awesome. I think everybody really enjoyed it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to straighten my hair, and we're just going to chit chat. So come on in, y'all. Come on in. Hey girl, what's up, Lindsay? So somebody commented on my video and they said that they were still craving benzos. And I thought we could talk about that. So, hey Billy, I came live because you asked, honey. Okay, I saw your comment and I said, you know what? I'll do it for you. Hey Britt, what's up, baby? So my friend was like, I'm still craving benzos. And I was like, well, I totally understand that because I have times where I crave too, you guys. Like, I'm not trying to act like I'm perfect and don't have struggles, you know? And so what I do when I have a craving for a substance, number one, first thing I do is I sit down and I think of all the things that I have to be grateful for. Okay, I think about the things that I have now that if I was using that substance, I wouldn't have them. Okay? And I really, and I guess I just needed a wake-up call because when I heard that, so yeah, but you know what I do? Here's the thing. Those songs, no, she will. Those songs don't have power over me. Okay, listen. I don't have to get high ever again, and neither do you. Okay? Today, I have the power of choice, all right? After you get sober and you've been sober for a little while, you regain the power of choice, okay? And so today, if I went out and used drugs, I would have to actively go out and seek out somebody to get drugs from because I don't even hang out with people like that, right? And so now it would be a conscious choice that I would be making. All right. So I have the choice to make today. Now, for those of you guys that are still in active addiction, you guys have lost the power of choice. Okay. And so when you finally say, hey, I'm tired of this and I want to make a change, right? That's like a moment of clarity you're having. And so we got to catch you on that moment of clarity because if we don't catch you, then it's really hard. You know, you might keep on going and not get sober. And so that's why when somebody says, hey, I'm ready, I want to get help, you got to just jump on it right away because that could change in 10 minutes, you know? And so that moment of clarity time is really important when somebody's, wanting to get help and get sober. Yeah, addiction sucks, but you know what? It's part of my life. It's made me the person that I am today, and I'm able to help people because of it. So it's not a bad thing. You know, I look at it as a positive now. And you will too when you get older and you start helping people and you get, sober, you'll be the same way I am. You'll say, you know what? Today I can use my addiction to be of service and help other people. I can use my addictive personality and the things I struggle with as a positive thing instead of a negative thing. Wow. So, maybe I'm the only person that way, but I stopped using for a few months, then relapse, then repeat. Yeah, I used to do the same thing too, Tori. I used to do the same thing too. Okay, so I'm going to be straight up honest and real with you, okay? When I would do that back and forth, relapse, get sober, deep down inside of me, I had a reservation to use. Okay, deep down inside of me, I still had this idea that I could use drugs and alcohol successfully without having negative consequences. And I was still trying to make that happen. Okay, so I want you to dig deep. Okay, dig deep inside of your soul right now and ask yourself, do I think that I can somehow, some way manage using drugs and alcohol without having negative side effects, negative consequences? All right. And if you answer that question and say, yes, I can use drugs and alcohol, then you have a reservation still. Okay. And that's just is what it is, you know? Yeah, it happens. I mean, it is what it is. So, I mean, I finally, like I said, had to get to a point where I had to make a change, and that was something really bad happening in my life, you know? How do you break the cycle? What have you been doing to stay sober, Tori? What does your program look like? What do you do to stay on the right path? I want to know. And while Tori's answering, you guys can answer too. What do each one of you guys do in your recovery to stay sober? What program do you work? What is your little program you got going on? I'll tell you what mine is, okay? What I do to stay sober is every day I wake up, I do my gratitude list, I say my prayers, and I thank my higher power, and I ask them to guide me in my life, okay? I do my meditation through the 24-hour a day. I talk to my mentor, all right? I do 12-step work with my sponsor. I help others, and I try to do self-care and take care of myself and my medication-assisted treatment. And there you go. Good job, Sam. Oh, Unbreakable. I'm on MAT too, girl. So we're proud of you, baby. You're sober. So what do you do? What do you do with your MAT program? Do you do anything else? Because here's the thing. If you're just taking your MAT, I want you to add something else, okay? I want you to do some therapy. I want you to get involved in some kind of recovery meetings, or like have a mentor, because just using the medication is not enough, okay? So the way my doctor explained it to me was our medication is only like 5% of our recovery. The other 95% is what we do, right? So this is just a little tool, okay? And so all those other parts, she will, Blunt said she will. Good. Okay, good. Because see, that medication, like I said, it's just 5% of our recovery, and the other 95% is what we're doing, putting one foot in front of the other, taking action. And so, yeah. Are you still in here, Tori? Okay, Tori, I got you. Then let me help you, Tori. Let me help you. I'm gonna follow you, okay? And I'm gonna message you, and we are gonna get you set up, okay, baby? I'm gonna help you get set up. Hey, what's up, Clarita? What do you mean I look so good? What do you mean? Explain. I'm on MAT. I see my counselor, and I attend group meetings. Good job, man. Good job, Teresa. That's good. Very good. I also have a 4-month-old, so pretend a newborn has played a lot in my sobriety as well. Absolutely. I understand that. I have a little boy, so I definitely understand that. You know what I've been wanting to start up, you guys? I want to start up. I am losing weight, but I'm not talking about it because I don't want anybody to, like, call me a failure if I fuck up. You know what I mean? But what was I going to tell y'all? Oh, yeah. I want to start doing, like, an evening, like, meditation, or like we read something at night, and we go around the circle, and each one of us shares something about it, and then we close out. So it would be, I guess, like a Zoom meeting, so that way everybody could talk. And I was wanting to start it up, and it'll just be literally like 30 minutes, okay? We'll read the reading, and then each person can go around and share about how their day was, and then we'll close the meeting out and do it each night, so that way close the night out on a positive note. Hey Doug, what's up? And so you guys know that on Wednesday we're having my 7-year sober celebration. 7-year sober celebration, Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's cute. But I thought that would be something, because here's the thing. I was doing like so many lives, and I was having so many guest speakers on. And I like doing that too, but I don't know. I just feel like I want to do something more because here's the thing. I need to do that. I need to do my readings at night. And so if I do it with somebody, that helps me stay accountable to doing it. You dig? Whatever meetings you want to go to, Geraldine. It's 9:39 here. And it would probably be like at this time, you know? I'm thinking about getting my hair colored, you guys. I've been trying not to do it, but I'm really wanting to color it and put some like light blonde colors in it. I do it usually during the summer, and it looks great. Like, my hair looks great with highlights in it. I'm also starting adult children of alcoholics meetings. My dad died. Oh, wow. That's great. I'm very proud of you. Blonde. Yeah, that's what I normally do. It's like caramely blonde highlights, or not. It's a balayage is what I do. What's your question, Jessica? Come on with it. Come on with it, honey. Bright pink. Hey, I was going to do... It's okay, Doug. It's okay. I was going to do teal, James, but then I would have to bleach my whole head. And, excuse me, my hair is so healthy, I don't want to do that. I don't want to break my hair, because I've gotten it so healthy and so long, and I'm so proud of it. Have a coworker come out and tell me he's done ice for 5 years. I had no idea. How'd he hide it so well? Because a lot of people can use drugs and function. You know what I mean? I seen that post you did the other day about becoming a creator. Oh, hey, Jessica. Yeah. A lot of people can use drugs functionally. And you would never even know it. Especially stimulants. So, it's functioning addict. Purple streaks, yeah. Hey, thanks, Geraldine. I appreciate that compliment. How do I do that? I've been thinking about starting to tell my story on here. So on TikTok, on Facebook, and on Instagram is where you need to be. And you just start. Like, I just started sharing my story and making videos. Now, if you're talking about, like, do you want me to teach you how to do social media? Then, I mean, if y'all want me to teach you, then I need to do like a group and share, teach you that way. But making content online, it's very important to be consistent, okay? Be consistent, be your true, authentic self, all right? Don't put on any fucking airs. Be who you are, because people, they can sense fakeness, okay? So be authentic and share from the heart, okay? And consistently post. When you're making your videos, don't make them super long. When you come on, get to the point, okay? If your video is about smoking crack, you can say, I used to smoke crack back in 2010, and this is what happened, okay? Start out with something that grabs the audience's attention. Like, I have little catch lines that I'll do. When I tell my meth stories, I'll say, crazy shit I didn't see while I was high on methamphetamine. Or when I do my cocaine stories, I'll say, cocaine is a hell of a drug, and I'll go into the story. Or when I do my plug stories, I'll say, shit, my plug used to do that would piss me off. And that grabs the person's attention because people are just scrolling as fast as they can go, right? And so what you want to do is you want to stop them from scrolling. Okay, it's a challenge because people are on the internet all day long, right? So what's going to make you stand out? All right? What's going to make them want to say, I want to watch that person's video? Do you hear what I'm saying? And so there's that. Another way that you can make your videos is by using like trending sounds and doing dances. Now that's a big thing here on TikTok. I'm more of a creator that likes to speak in my videos, but if you use like the trending sounds and do the TikTok dances and put words across the screen, you can make a video about virtually anything while you're doing a dance, okay? There's that one beat that goes dun, 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 bump, 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 bump. I've made so many videos to that little thing about, okay, what questions I get asked about opiate addiction. When's the first time I'll just answer anything with that little dance. And I can make like 10 videos doing that. So that's another way that you can make videos. And let me think. As far as, hey, thanks, Doug. As far as making content like on Instagram and Facebook and getting paid for it, because I think that's what you might be asking, you have to post over there on Reels. And so once you start posting on there, they'll send you an invite to monetize. So, yeah, I like telling those stories. Tonight, you guys, I told my whole story on Facebook. So if you guys want to go watch it, it's on my Facebook right now. But yeah, I guess I could make a video. Should I make a video about how to help people on social media? I just don't want people to think I'm trying to be a know-it-all, you know? But I have some really good suggestions. Yeah, so Jessica, if you want to get paid, you need to start posting on Reels on Instagram and Facebook because they are paying really good right now. And so once you start posting on Facebook Reels, they'll send you an invite to monetize. As far as Instagram goes, you'll go to Instagram and then go to settings and then go to creator account and then go to bonuses and check and see if you're eligible for monetization. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So Clarita says she needs help growing her nail. Okay. So I'll tell you this. All right. For the nail content, what I have noticed here on TikTok is that videos that do really good for those nail contents is where you have the hand and maybe you start out with the first clip doing a little bit of the nail and then the second clip doing a little bit more, and then it finishes it, you know, and do it to trending sounds. And that's a way you could do it. You could have people that come get their nails done at your shop do a TikTok with you. It's like, hey, this is my client Maria. She's coming in for a blah, blah, blah set. This is her nails before, and this is her nails after. You know what I'm saying? And use trending music, okay? I'm trying to think what else to do for nails. Education is another way that you can gain a following with your nail business, okay? So since you're a nail tech, sharing about nail tech education, like, I don't know, you know, what is a fungus on your nail? Like education, okay? So what you would do is you would start out with the question and write the question across the screen. What is the correct tool to use on the cuticle? Whatever. And you'd have it on the screen and you would come on and you say, what is the correct tool to use on the cuticle? I had somebody ask me that the other day, and the answer is ba 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 ba, and you can show them. And so you could teach people through education, okay, since it's a craft that you have honed and you're an expert in, okay, you understand? I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, like just anything where they're doing like the things where it was like snatch the soul. That one you could do it with the nails. Like they come in with old nasty nails, snatch, and then they come back with the beautiful nails. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I have all kinds of ideas. Like you guys don't understand. Like I could literally help you guys. I should get paid for it. Yeah, I have Instagram and I have everything. I have all of it. YouTube. Hey Jodeci, what's up, girl? Because in order to like, okay, so on social media, you have to use all social media apps, okay? Because you don't want to depend too heavily on one app, okay? So don't put your eggs all in one basket. Like here on TikTok, they're always threatening to take TikTok away. So I could sit here and build this account. Remember last year, I built this account up to 100,000 and then all of a sudden it got deleted. And I was like, what the fuck? So that's why I have like 5 accounts here on TikTok, you know, and I have all my other social medias because I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. What other questions y'all got? I like answering questions. I'm good at it. Let me sit down. I said snatch. I stole. I said. Oh, you can come on, Jessica. I didn't see you. Come on, come on, girl. Have you studied counseling? You should build a real career with all this wisdom. No, I have not studied counseling. I could though. I was actually. So here's the thing, okay? With me not being a counselor or anything like that, I'm not held, like I don't have to, okay, so when you're a counselor or something like that or a peer support specialist, there's rules that you have to abide by. They're called ethics, right? And so I don't have to, I try to operate in an ethical manner, but I don't have to like operate by their strict rules, right? And so that's why I don't want to go and become a peer or a counselor because then I'm not held to that standard. Right now, I'm just a regular person sharing my experience so nobody can try and say, oh, Nicole's a counselor. She needs her degree or her license taken away because she's spreading misinformation or she's doing this, that, or the third. You see what I'm saying? And so doing things like I'm doing them now, just, you know, me building myself from the ground up, I don't have to answer to anybody like that. That's what I mean. You know? So, and I wouldn't be able to be as authentic and as, truthful as I am because I think that a lot of the stuff that I talk about is, you know, it's kind of crosses the line a little bit. And so I wouldn't be able to talk about that kind of stuff with my clients. And that would be stupid. That totally negates the whole purpose of me sharing, you know? Hey, Jessica, did you want to come up here? I saw you come up here. So, any other questions y'all got? I try to help everybody here in the recovery community with their accounts and build their accounts, though. Yeah. I love you. I'll be in there to lay down with you in just a second. Okay? Yeah. And also, I just like that I can be able to connect with people like we're on the same level. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like if I became a counselor or something like that, that would make me feel, that would elevate me. And I don't want to be above people. I want to be on the same playing field as you guys. So, well, I need to send these out to you guys. I need to send these out. So, okay. I'm going to read something to you guys that I think will help you guys because it helped me. Okay? All right. Oh, my baby. My baby. Okay. So y'all ready? Okay, here we go. That's my dog. Y'all want to hear a story? Snatch. It's soul. Come on, baby. Snatch. It's soul. Okay. So I read this book. It's called Codependent No More by Melanie Beattie. And it's amazing. And this is the book that actually helped me when my husband was having his relapse. And so this book helped me to learn that I was codependent. Okay. And so I think it will help you too. So I would like to read some to you guys if you guys would like to hear it. If you don't want to hear it, I won't read it. So this is Jessica's story, okay? So it says, the sun was shining and it was a beautiful day when I met him. Then everything went crazy. Here we go. This is Jessica's story. I'll let her tell it. I sat in the kitchen drinking coffee, thinking about my unfinished housework. Dishes, dusting, laundry, the list was endless. Yet I couldn't get started. It was too much to think about. Doing it seemed impossible. Just like my life, I thought. Fatigue, a familiar feeling, overtook me. I headed for the bedroom. Once a luxury, naps had become a necessity. Sleeping was about all I could do. Where had my motivation gone? I used to have an excess of energy. Now it was an effort to comb my hair and apply makeup daily. An effort I frequently didn't put forth. I lay on my bed and fell into a deep sleep. When I awoke, my first thoughts and feelings were painful. This also was not new. I wasn't sure which hurt most. The raw ache I felt because I was certain my marriage was over. The love was gone, extinguished by the lies and the drinking and the disappointments and the financial problems, the bitter rage I felt towards my husband, the man who had caused it all, the despair I felt because God, whom I had trusted, had betrayed me by allowing this to happen, or the mixture of fear, helplessness, and hopelessness that blended into all the other emotions. Damn him, I thought. Why did he have to drink? Why couldn't he have sobered up earlier? Why did he have to lie? Why couldn't he have loved me as much as I loved him? Why didn't he stop drinking and lying years ago when I still cared? I never intended to marry an alcoholic or an addict. My father had been one. I had tried so hard to carefully choose my husband. Great choice. Frank's problem with drinking had become apparent on our honeymoon when he left our hotel suite late one afternoon and didn't return until 6:30 the next morning. Why didn't I see then? Looking back, the signs were clear. What a fool I had been. Oh no, he's not an alcoholic, not him, I had defended time and time again. I had believed his lies. I had believed the lies. Why didn't I just leave him, get a divorce? Guilt, fear, lack of initiative, and indecision. Besides, I had left him before. When we were apart, all I did was feel depressed, think about him, and worry about money. Damn me. I looked at the clock, 2:45. The kids would soon be home from school. Then he would be home expecting supper. No housework done today. Nothing ever got done. And it's his fault, I thought. His fault. Suddenly I shifted emotional gears. Was my husband really at work? Maybe he had taken another woman to lunch. Maybe he was having an affair. Maybe he had left early to drink. Maybe he was at work creating problems there. How long would he have his job anyway? Another week? Another month? Then he'd quit or be fired as usual. The phone rang, interrupting my anxiety. It was a neighbor, a friend. We talked and I told her about my day. I'm going to Al-Anon tomorrow, she said. Want to come along? I had heard about Al-Anon. It was a group for people married to drunks. Visions charged into my mind of the little women huddled at this meeting, making the most of their husbands' drinking, forgiving them, and thinking of all the little ways to help them. I'll see, I lied. I've got a lot of work to do, I explained, not lying. Hold on. My dog has to go pee again. She just went pee and now she has to go pee again. Okay. This is actually really good. Okay, so listen up. Okay. Outrage poured through me, and I barely heard the rest of our conversation. Of course, I didn't want to go to Al-Anon. I had helped and helped. Hadn't I already done enough for him? I felt furious at suggestion that I do more and continue giving to this bottomless pit of unmet needs we called a marriage. I was sick of shouldering the burden and feeling responsible for the success or failure of the relationship. It's his problem, I railed silently. Let him find his solution. Leave me out of this. Don't ask another thing of me. Just make him better and I'll feel better. After I hung up the phone, I dragged myself into the kitchen to fix supper. Anyway, I'm not the one that needs help, I thought. I haven't drunk, used drugs, lost jobs, and lied to and deceived those I love. I've held this family together, sometimes by the skin of my teeth. I've paid the bills, maintained a home on a scant budget, been there for every emergency, and married to an alcoholic, there had been plenty of emergencies. Gone through most bad times alone and worried to the point of frequent illness. No, I decided I'm not the irresponsible one. To the contrary, I've been responsible for everything and everyone. There was nothing wrong with me. I just needed to get going, start doing my daily chores. I didn't need meetings to do that. I just feel guilty if I went out when I had all this work to do at home. God knows I didn't need more guilt. Tomorrow I'd get up and get busy. Things will be better tomorrow. When the kids came home, I found myself hollering at them. That didn't surprise them or me. My husband was easygoing, the good guy. I was the bitch. I tried to be pleasant, but it was hard. Anger was always just beneath the surface. For so long, I had tolerated so much. I was no longer willing or able to tolerate anything. I was always on the defensive, and I felt like I was somehow fighting for my life. Later, I learned I was. By the time my husband came home, I had put a disinterested effort into preparing supper. We ate, barely talking. I had a good day, Frank said. What does that mean, I wondered. What did you really do? Were you even at work? Furthermore, who cares? That's nice, I said back. How was your day, he asked. Excuse me. How in the hell do you think it was? I railed silently. After all you've done to me, how do you expect me to have any day? I flashed him daggers, forced a smile, and said, my day was okay, thanks for asking. Frank looked away. He heard what I wasn't saying, more than what I had said. He knew better than to say anything. I did too. We were usually one step away from a raving argument, a recount of past offenses, and screamed threats of divorce. We used to thrive on arguments, but we grew sick of them, so we did it silently. The children interrupted our hostile silence. Our son said he wanted to go to a playground several blocks away. I said no, I didn't want him to go without his father or me. He wailed he wanted to go, he would go, and I never let him do anything. I yelled he wasn't going, and that was that. He yelled, please, I have to go. All the other kids get to go. As usual, I backed down. Okay, go ahead, but be careful, I warned. I felt like I had lost. I always felt like I lost. With my kids, with my husband, no one ever listened to me. No one took me seriously. I didn't take me seriously. After supper, I washed dishes while my husband watched television. As usual, I work and you play. I worry and you relax. I care and you don't. You feel good and I hurt. Damn you. I walked through the living room several times, purposely blocking his view of the television and secretly flashing him hateful looks. He ignored me. After tiring of this, I promenaded into the living room, sighed, and said I was going outside to rake the yard. It's really the man's job, I explained, but I guess I'll have to do it. He said he'd do it later. I said later never came. I was embarrassed by the yard. Just forget it. I was used to doing everything, and I would do that too. He said okay, he would forget it. I stormed outside and stalked around the yard. As tired as I was, bedtime came too early. Sleeping with my husband had become as strained as our waking moments. We would either not speak, each curling up on opposite sides of the bed as far from each other as possible, or he would make attempts, as though everything were fine, to have sex with me. Either way, it was tense. If we turned our backs to each other, I would lie there with confused, desperate thoughts. If he tried to touch me, I froze. How could he expect me to make love to him? How could he touch me as though nothing had happened? Usually I pushed him away with a sharp, "No, I'm tired." Sometimes I agreed. Occasionally I did it because I wanted to. But usually if I had sex with him, it was because I felt obligated to take care of his sexual needs and guilty if I didn't. Either way, sex was psychologically and emotionally unsatisfying. But I told myself I didn't care. It didn't matter. Not really. Long ago, I had shut off my sexual desires. Long ago, I had shut off my need to give and receive love. I had frozen that part of me that felt and cared. I had to survive. I had expected so much of this marriage. I had so many dreams for us. None of them had came true. I had been tricked, betrayed. My home and family, the place and the people we should have been... Oh, hold on. The place and the people who should have been warm, nurturing, a comfort, a haven of love, had become a trap, and I couldn't find the way out. Maybe I kept telling myself it will get better. After all, the problems are his fault. He's an alcoholic. When he gets better, our marriage will get better. But I was beginning to wonder. He had been sober and attending Alcoholics Anonymous for 6 months. He was getting better. I wasn't. Was his recovery really enough to make me happy? So far, his sobriety didn't appear to be changing the way I felt, which was at age 32, dried up, used up, and brittle. What had happened to our love? What had happened to me? 1 month later, I began to suspect what I would soon learn was the truth. By then, the only thing that had changed was I felt worse. My life had ground to a halt. I wanted it to end. I had no hope that things would get better. I didn't even know what was wrong. I had no purpose except to care for other people, and I wasn't doing a good job of that. I was stuck in the past and terrified of the future. God seemed to have abandoned me. I felt guilty all the time and wondered if I was going crazy. Something dreadful, something I couldn't explain, had happened to me. It had snuck up on me and ruined my life. Somehow I had been affected by his drinking, and the ways I had been affected had become my problems. It no longer mattered whose fault it was. I had lost control. So, that's Jessica's story, okay? Now, this is Melanie's talking about Jessica. So listen, Melanie is the lady who wrote this book. It's called Codependent No More. So she says, I met Jessica at this point in her life. She was about to learn 3 fundamental ideas. 1, she wasn't crazy, she was codependent. Alcoholism and other compulsive disorders are truly family illnesses. The way the illness affects other family members is called codependency. 2, once they have been affected, once it sets in, codependency takes on a life of its own. It is similar to catching pneumonia or picking up a destructive habit. Once you've got it, you've got it. 3, if you want to get rid of it, you have to do something to make it go away. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. Your codependency becomes your problem. Solving your problems is your responsibility. If you're codependent, you need to find your own recovery or healing process. To begin that recovery, it helps to understand codependency and certain attitudes, feelings, and behaviors that often accompany it. It is also important to change some of these attitudes and behaviors and understand what to expect as these changes occur. So, this book will search for those understandings and encourage those changes. I'm happy to say Jessica's story had a happy ending or a new beginning. She got better. She started living her own life. I hope you do too. Okay, so her husband is an alcoholic, and you see how, like, just because he was struggling with alcoholism doesn't mean that her life can't be full and great, but because she was so codependent and so connected to him, that's how I was. So, like, when my husband relapsed, I let that really affect me in a negative way, okay? And so I shouldn't have done that, okay? I should have focused on doing my work, focused on taking care of my son, focused on moving forward, because we have separate lives, but a life together. You know, we're two different people. But what I was doing at the beginning of our recovery was I was trying to make our recovery as one, together recovery. And that's not how it has to be. That's not how it can be. Neil has to have his recovery, and I have to have my recovery, and they have to be separate. I'm telling you guys, I tried the other way, and it did not work. What? Doug, so they say that's an extreme case of codependency, which I think it's normal because that's exactly how I was. So in this book, what they do is they talk about ways to, how to stop codependency, okay? And they teach you about codependent characteristics. So here's the thing, that you might be a codependent if you think and feel responsible for other people, for other people's feelings, thoughts, actions, choices, wants, needs, well-being, lack of well-being, and ultimate destiny. You might be a codependent if you feel anxiety, pity, and guilt when other people have a problem. You might be codependent if you feel compelled, almost forced, to help that person solve the problem, such as offering unwanted advice, giving a rapid-fire series of suggestions, or fixing feelings. You might be codependent if you feel angry when their help isn't effective. You might be codependent if you anticipate other people's needs. You might be codependent if you wonder why others don't do the same for them. You might be codependent if you find themselves saying yes when they mean no, doing things they don't really want to be doing more than their fair share of the work, and doing things other people are capable of doing for themselves. So are you getting the, okay? If you try to please others instead of yourself, if you find it easier to feel and express anger about injustices to others instead of yourself. So basically, if instead of taking care of you, you're always focused on taking care of somebody else. Okay? Yeah, exactly. I'm codependent too. I know. And I was telling my story today on Facebook, right? And I was telling everybody to look at the pattern. And so the pattern that I had in my story, right, is that every person that I came in contact with, I tried to help them, right? I tried to help improve their life in some way, because I'm codependent as fuck. And so that is part of my codependency, is trying to make other people's lives better, and they don't even care about it, And so, for instance, like when I met LD, like I worked so hard to help him get his life together, and, he ended up, screwing me over. But usually us codependents, we get taken advantage of, and then we get upset and we have resentment, and that's what happens. I would have a huge resentment because I had put all this time and effort into helping these people, right? But part of being codependent is a lot of the reasons why we spend so much time helping people is because when we help people, it makes us feel good and needed. Okay? And so it's like a deep-seated issue. So a lot of codependents have low self-worth, come from troubled, repressed, or dysfunctional families. think they're not quite good enough, fear of rejection, take things personally, have been victims of sexual, physical, or emotional abuse. They're afraid of making mistakes, feel a lot of guilt, have a lot of shoulds, expect themselves to do everything perfectly. Repression, push their thoughts and feelings out of their awareness because of fear and guilt, become afraid to let themselves be who they are, appear rigid and controlled. Obsession, feel terribly anxious about problems and people, worry about the silliest things, think and talk a lot about other people, never find answers, check on people, controlling, dependency, denial. There's a lot of different characteristics of codependency. I am so codependent. And then they talk about detachment. Listen to this. If detachment is not detaching from the person whom we care about, but from the agony of involvement. So we're not detaching from the person, but we're detaching from the involvement of being in the drama, right? So when I was trying to choose the topic for this first chapter in this section of the book, many sections competed for first place. I chose detachment not because it is significantly more important than the other concepts. I selected it because it is an underlying concept. It is something we need to do frequently as we strive to live happy lives. It is the goal of most recovery programs for codependents, and it is also something we must do first, detaching with love, before we can do the other things we need to do. We cannot begin to work on ourselves, to live our own lives, feel our own feelings, and solve our own problems until we have detached from the object of our obsession. From my experiences and those of others, it appears that even our higher power can't do much with us until we have detached. Okay? And so, higher power can't do much with us until we have detached. Okay? And so, when a codependent says, I think I'm getting attached to you, look out. He or she probably means it. Most codependents are attached to people and problems in their environments. By attachment, I don't mean normal feelings of liking people, being concerned about problems, or feeling connected to the world. Attachment is becoming overly involved, sometimes hopelessly entangled. Attachment can take several forms. And so if you are in a relationship with a drug addict and you're not a drug addict or alcoholic, or you are, you could be going through this, okay? Because I have. This was me, okay? Completely obsessed with working my husband and making sure his program, he was sober, making sure, completely obsessed. And because I was scared and I was driven out of fear, because I was afraid, what if he relapses? What if he dies? But it was so unhealthy and it was ruining our fucking relationship because I was so controlling. Okay. And that's why I read this book, and that's why I'm reading it to you guys. Attachment can take several forms. We may become excessively worried about and preoccupied with a problem or person, or we may graduate to becoming obsessed with and controlling of the people and problems in our environment. We may become reactionaries instead of acting authentically. We may become emotionally dependent on the people around us. We may become caretakers to the people around us. The problems with attachment are many. In this chapter, I will focus on worry and obsession. In following chapters, I will cover the other forms of attachment. Over-involvement of any sort can keep us in a state of chaos. It can keep the people around us in a state of chaos. If we're focusing all of our energies on people and problems, we have little left for the business of living our own lives. And there is just so much worry and responsibility in the air. Okay. I'm going to save, I want to go lay down because I'm tired, but I really do want to. Do y'all want to start reading this with me? Did any of you guys, there's 16 of y'all in here. Did any of you guys like this? Do you want me to continue reading it? Is it something that you think you would be interested in? If not, I won't do it anymore. I was doing it because it helps me, and I was thinking it might help you guys. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Oh my God, that makes me so happy. Okay, let me read a little bit more then, since y'all like it so much. That makes me happy. Okay. Da-da-da-da. Okay, here we go. Obsession with another human being or a problem is an awful thing to be caught up in. Okay, and I don't want, so obsession, like, I don't want you guys to think like, oh my God, obsession as in like in love, coming after the person. Like, obsession can literally be like I was telling you guys. I was obsessed with making sure that my husband stayed sober. Okay, like I was so scared. I was always worried. Effie, where's my other person? Where is Emily? Is Emily in here? I think I saw her come in here. Effie and Emily have, I think of y'all at the same time. I think Emily came in here. Is interrupted in here? Because if you are interrupted, you are codependent. I know this because of your relationship with your boyfriend, just from the conversations we had on here. Have you ever seen someone who is obsessed with someone or something? That person can talk about nothing else, can think of nothing else. Even if he appears to be listening when you talk, you know that person doesn't hear you. His mind is tossing and turning, crashing and banging around and around on an endless racetrack of compulsive thinking. He is preoccupied. He relates whatever you say, no matter how unrelated it actually is, to the object of his obsession. He says the same things over and over, sometimes changing the wording slightly, sometimes using the same words. Nothing you say makes any difference. Even telling him to stop doesn't help. He probably would if he could. The problem is he can't at the moment. He is bursting with the jarring energy that obsession is made of. He has a problem or a concern that is not only bothering him, it is controlling him. Many of the people I've worked with in family groups have been that obsessed with people they care about. When I asked them what they were feeling, they told me what the other person was feeling. So did you hear that? When they were asked what they were feeling, they told her what the other person was feeling. So they were so obsessed with the person that they are trying to help and that they care about, that they're not feeling their feelings. They're feeling the feelings of the other person. Okay? When I asked what they did, they told me what the other person had done. Their entire focus was on someone or something other than themselves. Some of them had spent years of their lives doing this, worrying about, reacting to, and trying to control other human beings. They were shells, sometimes almost invisible shells of people. Their energy was depleted, directed at someone else. They couldn't tell me what they were feeling and thinking because they didn't know. Their focus was not on themselves. Maybe you've been obsessed with someone or something. Someone does or says something. A thought occurs to you. Something reminds you of a past event. A problem enters your awareness. Something happens or doesn't happen. Or you sense something's happening, but you're not sure what. He doesn't call, and he usually calls by now. He doesn't answer the phone, and he should. It's payday. In the past, he was always drunk on payday. He's only been sober 3 months. Will it happen again today? You may not know what, you may not know why, and you're not sure when, but you know something bad, something terrible has happened, is happening, or is about to happen. Oh my God, this sounds just like me. It hits you in the stomach. The feeling fills you up. The gut twisting, hand-wringing anxiety that is so familiar to codependence. It is what causes us to do much of what we do that hurts ourselves. It is the substance worry and obsession feed upon. It is fear at its worst. Fear usually comes and goes, leaving us in flight, ready to fight, or just temporarily frightened. But anxiety hangs in there. It grips the mind, paralyzing it for all but its own purposes, an endless rehashing of the same useless thoughts. Oh gosh, I struggle with that still, honestly. I do, and just reading that when it said like, payday, they relapsed on payday. Like, I cannot tell you guys how many times, like, I check my region's bank account just because, like, I'll have a bad feeling, and I'll think I need to check it, and it's really hard, when you when you care so much about somebody, but it's gotten to an unhealthy point and you're codependent, you know? There's some ladies that I watch here on TikTok, and they have like a daughter, and they're always chasing this woman around to different places trying to find where she's at, and she's in active addiction. And when I watch them, I can feel so much of their pain. Hey, Lucas, because they're codependent, and so am I. And so I know what that's like to like feel like you have power to save somebody, because that's what I felt like I could do. I felt like I had the power to save my husband, right? To find him and pull him out of the gutter and help him get sober and stay sober. Hey, Amanda. But I finally had to let that go. Yes, Cindy and Wendy, and realize that he has to do that. I cannot do it for him, right? And he has, but like, damn, dude, this is like, I struggle so much with codependency, you guys. It's really, really difficult for me. And I'm sure you guys can relate, you know? But like with Wendy and Cindy, and I love them. Like, I'm not talking bad about them. I love them to death. But like those poor ladies, they are consumed with Stephanie's life. You know, instead, they should be living their life, enjoying their time with their husbands and their jobs and their grandkids. And you know what? When Stephanie's ready to get help, she'll come, she'll ask for help, and she'll be serious about it, and she'll actually go and get the help and stay. I think what has happened with her is that she knows no matter what, she can go back, and Cindy or Wendy is going to be there to save her. And so she is abusing them. You know, she is just abusing them, taking advantage of their kindness because they love her so much, you know? And that's what a lot of us addicts will do, is that we will take advantage of the people that we love until they are just totally broken, you know? And like I said, I'm not saying anything nasty or anything. Like, I did the same thing to my mom and dad. That's why my mom cut me off. That's why my mom, you know, wouldn't let me live with them, you know? So I'm going to eat a pudding and then I'm going to go to bed. So how's everybody's day? Well, how was y'all's day? Did y'all have a good day? Clarita, I'm so happy you noticed I'm losing weight. You have no idea how much that means to me.